Hey guys, welcome back again. This is Aquarist exhibit. This is part 2 of the latest update. I just want to talk about the hardware in this one and some of the issues I'm going through. Hopefully, if anybody's watching this and they have a solution for the issue, maybe they could help me out, at least one of them. So the first issue I'm going to get at is my return pump. My return pump is a CHA SDC 6.0 fully controllable Wi-Fi pump, DC powered. And that's fine and dandy. The only issue is I'm having a little bit of noise coming through in my overflow. And from what I understood, a bean animal style overflow, which is what I have in here, you're supposed to kind of just set it and forget it. And that way it will always stay the same level, because theoretically, if the pump is set to, let's say, 40%, and there's always water in the tank, then theoretically the overflow should always be draining at the exact same amount. Flow should always be the same, because the same flow going in, same flow going out. However, I have to constantly do minor adjustments on my gate valve to get that completely silent, and I don't understand why. I wish it wasn't like that, and when I'm gone for work, my wife hates it because it's a little bit noisy. It's not really noisy, but it's audible for sure. And then let's see, the next thing, I have my little, what is that, a 1.0 powering the Aquachar going through there. I'm loving it. As soon as I started running the Aquachar, the water is absolutely crystal clear. It's just beautiful. And then flowing back into the first chamber, then the 4.0, this guy back here, powering the skimmer, but going into the second chamber. Now, I know you're not really supposed to feed back into the same chamber, but I feel like there's enough flow, and that 1.0 isn't really moving a huge amount of water. It's just kind of running through, circulating in through there, letting the bacterial colony congregate inside the chamber, and then flowing through the rest of the system. So I'm not really too worried about it. I've let the gate inside here fall down completely, or enough so that these two chambers are equal, and then this one I've kind of like just put this little tape right here just to kind of keep an eye on the amount coming in through here. And then I've got a little bit of like a film on top of there, and I wish that wasn't there either. It's just kind of ugly. I know it's not really doing anything wrong, but other than that, yeah, because the water comes in through the back there, and then there's a hole down at the bottom down there that fills this up. I guess the science behind it is that this is supposed to be the only chamber that ever really rises or falls. And then when you're filling, you just raise that back up to where it was, and theoretically you should be back at the same salinity in your water if you're just adding just straight water, obviously no salt water going in there, and you should be right back up at the same salinity by adding water. So, but the only problem is that noise is kind of bothering me. Other than that, everything's going really well. Hardware, I got the pumps hooked up, and they're actually hooked up inversely right now. So this one will pump, I think it's like 30% or 40% for like 5 seconds, and then this one switches on, and they have a little bit of spot where they fight against each other, which is kind of cool. So it rolls the turbulence in the tank back and forth, which is something I always wanted. And eventually when I get the Profilux, you can really dial that in to be like a longer set, and have it ramping up and then ramping it back down again. So that way you're really rolling the turbulence one way and then back the other way again. That way you don't have so much dead spots in the tank around the rock work. And like the return nozzles back in there, helping create a little bit of turbulence in the back along the wall that you kind of don't really get if you have your power heads up close like I do. So it's definitely helping. Cleaned up a little bit of the wire for the lighting, my Orphic icon, and my two Aura 3 bars. These things they're just beautiful. I mean, like, I have the whites kind of turned up right now for more of a visibility thing, but normally the blues are on a little bit more, but the tank just looks beautiful with those lights over it. Like, I can't complain one bit. Connectivity is awesome. You can do like this quick change where, you know, if the family's sitting in here and they're watching a movie, I can quickly change it so the blues go off, because the blues are kind of hard on the eyes, and then it just comes back on again after a couple hours, which is nice. I put a cable management wrap on here to hide all 3 of the wires coming down, and then it's hidden right in the corner there, and then the power head wire is hidden right on the corner down there. Yeah, that's actually the pump for the algae reactor that's going to get put in there. Probably not until I move, and then the roller mat will go in here. So now we're going to go take a look at where the pumps are, or the pump controllers are, and everything like that. So this is where I make my water, obviously coming in from over here at my manifold, and then it goes behind the furnace and comes into a 7-stage. Making water right now, actually. And then I hooked up my UV. Try to do a little bit of wire management, but it's pretty hard in this little corner right here, to try to get it all set up, and my switchboard. So those are my 2 power heads, and then hiding behind there is the controller for the algae reactor, and then the return pump and the UV pump, and the Inkbird controller for temp. This guy I was gonna use for ATO or automatic water changes, but I found out that moving that much water just really burns out the motor. So I'm gonna wait for the maxi doser to come in, and then I picked up a KHD, or cage director, and I'm gonna hook that up with this eventually with the Profilux, and probably an ion director as well. So I won't have to worry too much about the parameters while I'm gone for work. And then this is the Lifeguard Pro Max Uv, hooked up to the C8 SDC6, and I think it's set around 24-25% filling in from the bottom. That way it has more dwell time inside the chamber under the UV, and then back out into the tank again. Yeah, so that's pretty much the setup. Tried to make it as clean as possible. There you can see the connector cord, and you can see that the power heads are actually coming on inversely. And then they have a little bit of a time where they touch. There it is. Yeah. Well, that's the update for this time. Thanks for watching, guys.